The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to it. I am in Los Angeles with I reassembled a crew of people that was really fun to hang out with last time. I had like a big night in Los Angeles, and the studio has really good lighting, and I had hair and makeup today because I did Conan's podcast. So I was like, let's capitalize on it. Let's reassemble the team, and let's have another podcast that with Chris Convey, Brian Frangie, Andrew Collin, and Nikki Glaser unite. Big night recap, special episode. That's what we'll call them, as the mic just hit me in the face. So yeah, last night I did the ESPYs. What's up, guys?
I don't know. I feel like it just hit me that we look like the Jonas Brothers. We all kind of look like.
We all have hats. Nikki doesn't have a hat.
Real handsome.
Which one are you? Which one do you want to be?
The fatter one with bigger nipples, probably.
No, I think aren't there four? Isn't there one that's a bonus Jonas?
Bonus Jonas, and he does a show. He does a TV show.
That
called Family Affair, or
it was like on
Famous
mute
Friends?
the other night, and we were like half watching it, but I was like kind of wanting to unmute because I was like, this looks kind of good because it's about people that are related to celebrities, but no one knows who the celebrity is they're related to, and they all have to like guess and we try at home to figure it out.
My buddy's a twin of Jake Owen.
Oh,
like
that's
identical twin, and
he's
he
gotta
sells
get on the
insurance.
show.
Like it's like very.
They
tough.
gotta get him on the show, but he would be known right away because he's an identical twin.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Would he? Do they still look the same? Because one of them is like a multi-million-dollar recording artist.
That reminds me of remember, is it Gold Case from 30 Rock?
I don't know
the game
one.
show hosted by John McEnroe.
No, I don't remember
Where you had
that.
to guess who's.
Oh,
you
wait.
had to guess whose case was filled with gold, and it was always like a model that was like struggling to. And there we go. That one.
That's so good. I love 30 Rock. I could revisit it any day, all day. It's just packed with us. Alec Baldwin is so good. I know I've talked about it before, but I'm like obsessed with Jiminy Glick right now. Or I'm kind of like coming out of my obsession. I've watched a lot, and Alec Baldwin's one with him. Have you guys seen it? And I've talked about it already, I think, extensively. But I read Martin Short's book. I don't know if I talked about that on here, but
I read that book.
You did?
I don't remember any of it, but I do. I know
Isn't
his
that
wife
the thing
died.
with
That's
books?
all I remember from the book.
Yeah. And oh my God, he goes on the
I wanna name
Today
our
Show.
dog.
What?
Dixie.
Oh my God, that's Jiminy Glick's
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
I can't do the voice, but I want to do it so bad. I want to learn it. There's this amazing clip of him from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Martin runs into Larry David on the street, and he like teaches him how to do the Jiminy Glick impersonation because he's like, it's very interesting. And then he does an amazing Larry David to him. Did you see this recently?
Yeah,
It was going around.
I have. Yeah.
At the very end.
I mean, that was the best improvised stuff. Yeah, the
Ever.
way he moved, like when he would get up, and just sit like
Yes.
this.
Oh, yeah.
The shifting
and when fat shaming like became huge, and like you couldn't, like I felt like he was like he had to stop doing it because like with like fat culture and people.
Oh,
didn't
really?
want-
I didn't
don't
feel
know.
that. I
You
don't know.
don't think?
No, I don't
just-
think so because it was never like. He would just eat his feelings very quickly. Damn it! I keep getting domestically abused by this mic.
I don't think Jiminy Glick was destroyed by fat shaming.
No, I don't think
No,
that at
but
all.
It just ran its course kind of in that
ran
time.
its course.
The days of
But
like
it's ready to come back.
there was a period of time when a lot of people were dressing up as hidden figures and they were trying to trick people. And the age of Borat, and it kind of just like fizzled out.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you talking about the women who
The women
work for
who,
NASA?
yeah, the women who work for NASA, the hidden figures people. Yeah,
dressing up like that?
yeah, they would dress up, and people kind of fat shamed them
They
out
were
of
real
out of
astronauts.
space.
They were real astronauts.
I know. I'm not trying to say they weren't real astronauts. They were just too fat. They were all fat.
Can we restart the podcast?
Yeah, let's welcome. Hi, welcome to the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Take one.
So fat people are gross, right?
No, it's. I
Dude.
didn't think it was like because I kind of like it because it is sometimes like I didn't really understand it at first, like why he's eating like his feelings, but then there's a really poignant moment with him, with Jon Stewart, and he's like. He's asking about, you just quit smoking. And he's describing like trying to quit smoking. And then he goes, I don't know if you, and then Jiminy starts stuffing donuts in his face. And he goes, I don't know if I was filling a hole deep inside me with the cigarettes, and I don't know if that's something you can relate to. And donuts are pouring out of his mouth as he's chewing, and it's just, and then you go, oh my God, there's some humanity in this character. Like he's amazing. Like I just got done telling Chris that I'm like want to be friends with Martin Short. Like it is something that I'm going to pursue.
Yeah.
Like not in the like Taylor Swift. I'm like, no, that's not like that will happen if it's meant to be. But this, I'm like, I want to affect the way, like I want to affect fate and go like, I'm just going to go.
You got to get on Only Murders.
You think that's the way I'm going to become friends with Martin Short? Is I'm going to get on the show
Only
Murders.
Murders.
I'm going to
That's the only
get good at acting.
Get good at auditioning. Care enough about being on a show to like. No, I just want to be friends with him, but I don't think that's the route I'm going to take. There's several.
I think
routes.
you just flat out reach out to him.
You DM him.
Yeah, just flat out. Just.
Do you think he checked? Martin Short checks his DM.
No, I wouldn't say DM. I would say like an
Send him a
email
letter.
or
Your agent.
through agents or something. Just be like, I love you. I want to hang out. I want to hang out with you.
Yes. I'm reading his book. I'm just like, oh, this is someone who is fun to hang out with because they like to entertain, and they're like, they don't mind you just being like, do Jiminy, and like he would just do it. I felt that way about Dana Carvey when I went to dinner with him. It was like it was a spectacle. It was a show. Me and Kyle Dunnigan were at dinner with Spade, and we did not know that Dana Carvey was going to be there, and then suddenly we're having, because Spade did, he's like, I'm inviting a friend, I'm not going to tell you who, and then you show up and it's Dana Carvey, and I was just like, and it was but Kyle and I left that dinner and we were like, we can't believe it. Like he drove me back home and he was like, dude, you don't understand, he's my hero. Like we like recapped it, but we were both freaking out, but it was so fun because he was just, you don't have to be nervous because you're just watching a show.
Yeah.
You almost did that to me today with Conan. I was like, hey, what time are we meeting for lunch? And you wrote back,
Oh my God.
Conan wants to have lunch with us. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I started cleaning the hotel room.
Oh my God.
Like I was getting ready for guests. And,
No, he was in the
and you were like,
future.
it's just like, what you meant was someday.
Yeah, which also means never in Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, but I was like, no, I will. I would love to have lunch. So I'm like, I'm going to also seek that out, even though maybe it was something he actually doesn't want to do, but was just offering to be nice. But when I got there, he was like, I need to know about this guy. Who's the guy? I've never met the guy. And I'm like, you have to meet the guy loves you. The reason I love the guy is because he loves you as much as I. Like, that's one of the foundations of our relationship is like, and then I didn't get a chance to tell him that like I contacted one of his writers from back in the day and had him
Best
do a
birthday
special
present ever.
birthday present
Yeah.
for Chris, and like I
Right.
wrote a Conan script
remember
and
this.
had him
Your wives
do it.
/ fiancés ever, like every like 6 months we end up watching like the same Conan clips.
Oh, yeah.
The same Jiminy. Like, do you guys have anything that you
do you guys
keep
have
coming
TV
back
you
to?
share?
That we return to again and again.
Yeah, that you're just constant. Because we'll just some nights we'll stay up to like 2 a.m. and
Something
watch
really
clips.
random, but I don't know if you've ever seen. It's
it
a
on
YouTube like
OnlyFans?
deep cut. Yeah, it's an OnlyFans. It's double P.
You can watch for hours.
Yeah, we just watch for hours. I'm usually not in the room, no, it's
on
fun.
your account, though.
Martin Short would have loved that one. So we watched this thing called Old Greg on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what that
No,
is.
I don't know what that is.
Old Greg. It's like
I'm Old Greg.
I'm Old Greg.
I don't know. That does not
Okay.
help
Yeah,
anything.
that-
I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know who's talking.
It's Old
I guess
Greg.
it's a
It's Old
man.
Greg.
Okay, it's such a weird video where this guy, he's like a man fish. And
Yeah.
It's
Is it a
Mighty
cartoon?
Boosh. It's an English, like a duo. And
Okay.
they're like jokesters.
It's not a cartoon.
No, it's kind of like Monty Python.
Okay.
And so he catches this guy who's a man-fish named Old Greg.
Like he's dressed
Oh,
up
I
like a
see.
fish.
Olivia's holding up.
Yeah.
Our producer's holding up Old Greg.
and
Okay.
then old Greg kidnaps him, and then they're stuck in a room. And he's just like, he's in love with Baileys, and I like Baileys.
Wait,
and it's just like the weirdest
Where
video.
did you see this
It was
originally?
huge on YouTube, like probably
Yeah.
15 years ago.
How many
I'm
minutes
sorry, I can't
is
believe
it?
you haven't seen this on Reddit because every once in a while it'll pop up because people.
It looks familiar.
It's like one of those cult following things where people.
Yeah.
They get onto Old Greg
like
and they love Old Greg.
like the one I'm super into is the Adult Swim one, Too Many Cooks.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that
Too
kind
Many
of thing, like
Cooks.
a comedy phenomenon, like
Yeah,
like
was
an
it-
online.
Remember the lizard that was
Culty.
stuck? Oh, whose floor is this? Not my floor, not my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
It was that kind of. I
Don't know that either. Wow, I was on a
The
different
Lonely
internet
Island.
than you guys back then.
And now there
I don't
are
know what
new
I was
ones.
Yeah,
watching.
have you ever heard the chronic What Culls of Narnia?
Oh yeah, that I never was like super into. I think
okay.
the first one that got me was maybe Dick in a Box.
Oh, of the Lonely Island one?
Yeah, I don't know that
What
I was
about Glurk?
gripped until way later. I'm so into them now, but like at first it took me a second. What was it?
Glurk.
What's that one?
He was an alien, and he's never had sex. Okay, I don't know
No.
if this is good.
The Lonely Island. You know when they gripped me? Space Olympics.
Space Olympics is so good.
It's such a good song. I love that song, and I love Andy Samberg's performance in it. Like, if you haven't seen Space Olympics, or what are the other ones we need to go check out? Old
Glurk.
Greg and Glurk.
And
Brace yourself, cause there's no gravity.
Yeah, the Space Olympics.
It's a motherfucking Space Olympics.
Wait, what are some other ones? He's doing like an ad, like not even an ad, like what the opening number? Welcome to the Space Olympics, the year 4022. Take part in a grand tradition.
I want to say, I'd keep your ass out the minibar.
Yeah, but that's the worst line in the whole thing. It really is. That's
why I
the one
remember it.
line
The only-
that I'm like, God, why is that in there? No, it's fine. It's like the whole thing is so good.
Space Swords.
Yeah,
Is totally
they
canceled.
start running out of oxygen. He was like, suddenly he's like doing this door, but he's like, "Welcome to the Space Olympics. You all get one junior suite." If I had the lyrics in front of me,
We
I would
don't
nail it, but-
cover
wait,
incidentals.
you mean if you had the lyrics?
Yeah, no, I'd nail the performance of it.
Okay, all right.
I like what I really would, because I'm split right now between like trying to be performing or trying to remember it, and I can't.
Why don't you just do a Charlie song from Always Sunny to make up for it?
Oh God, I can do that
I know
song.
you can do it.
Oh yeah, what song is that?
Okay, hold on. Let me channel it. I think Andrew had to like witness me like try to memorize this.
I'm sorry,
The
I put
day
you on
man,
the
night man.
Yeah.
Night man, sneaky and mean, spider and sand. My dreams, I think I love you. You make me wanna die. You make me wanna cry. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, night man. Every night you come into my room and pin me down with your strong arms. Yeah, you pin me down and I try to fight you. You come inside me, you fill me up, and I become the night man. It's just two men sharing the night. It might seem wrong, but it's just right. It's just two men sharing each other. It's just two men like loving brothers. One on top and one on bottom. One inside and one is out. One is screaming, he's so happy, and the other is screaming a passionate shout. It's the night man. The feeling so wrong and right, man. The feeling so wrong and right, man. I can't fight you, man, when you pin me down with your strong hands, and I become the night. The passionate night man.
Yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Well done.
I prayed
Wow.
for so long.
That's really good. Now do Friday night.
I'm thinking that we just might. need
Okay,
to we can't do this to ourselves without
Yeah,
the
it's
lyrics
too
in front of us.
much
We can't
pressure.
trust ourselves. I am usually good with lyrics. You know who's so good with lyrics? Freakishly is my friend Kirsten. She knows every verse to every like kind of obscure 80s song. If it was on the radio and played 3 times, she memorized the verses. Back when like you only memorize songs on the radio from hearing them. And she would commit them to memory. Like there's
That's
no internet
amazing.
to look up lyrics.
She's got a photographic memory.
Are you guys
maybe.
lyric people? Like when you listen to songs, do you care about the lyrics?
Oh, I love the lyrics.
You
The
do?
lyrics are sometimes the most important part.
Yeah. Is there ever a time where you like get into a song first and you don't even like listen to the lyrics or like hear what they mean?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
suddenly one
Yeah.
day, this song you've known forever and had a relationship forever suddenly clicks and you're like, this is what it means? Have you guys had that
Yeah,
happen?
they're like, we hate the Jews.
yeah, you're like, this is
Singing
what
for
I.
weeks.
This is what's been seeping in.
Or sometimes you hear lyrics and you don't really know what they mean. Like there's some kind of
Yeah.
metaphor going on, and then you find out
And
that
then
it's not
someone
good.
on a subreddit like explains it to you.
Yeah, like
and
this
you're
is-
like,
This
oh,
is actually pro-slavery.
and
Wait,
also
what are you listening
anti-Semitic.
to? What is this guy?
Confederate radio.
Hitler sings the hits.
Hitler sings the hits is good. Yeah. I memorized the lyrics to one of the earliest songs I memorized the lyrics to was Paul Revere by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fun one to memorize the lyrics. I don't remember them now.
No, I
You
remember.
probably
ask me.
could if you started kind of going with it, because that's the thing. That song, the Charlie song, it took so long to memorize. It was like during COVID, and I really committed. I was like, I have nothing else going on, and it's kind of fun to challenge yourself to like learn fast. Like,
Sure.
and that is like the way he plays it is just so erratic and funny, but it actually is like really good. So I don't know. One day I did that with Cardi B lyrics during COVID
I
with
did that
WAP.
with an Eminem verse that's like impossible.
Oh, rap
Do it.
God, yeah.
No, Rap God? No way.
No, but
Oh,
Which
if
one?
you could do Rap God, I
there's
would.
7 different levels of devil worshiping: horses, human sacrifices, cannibalism, candles, exorcisms, animals having sex with them, camels, mammals, and rats. But I don't get into that. I kick the habit. I just beat you to death with weapons. I eat through your flesh, but I never eat unless the fucking meat looks fresh. I got a line in my pocket. I'm lying. I got a 9 in my pocket, and baby, I'm dying to cock it. Who's ready for war? I'm ready for war. I got machetes and swords for any. Said he was wrong. My Uzi is heavy yours. You met me before. I just had a lot of arsenal weapons for. Marshall steps to you. You lay your head on the floor with your body spread on the bed, spread red on the wall, red on the ceiling, red on the floor. You're down on the wall. Right on 4th, and then on 4th.
That's
You dead wrong.
really
You
good.
did wrong. The weak or the strong. You got it going on.
Now you do the biggie
You
part.
did wrong. Hail Mary, full of grace. Smack the bitch in the face. Take the Gucci bag and the North Face off her back. Jab her if she act. Get
Is
funny
this
with the money.
what this podcast
Oh,
is
you got me
about?
singing, honey.
I love
don't
it.
want to.
All I want
I
to
just
see
want
is
the
wonder
papers.
people.
Capisce, Felicia. I'm out like the vapors. Who's the one they call
This
Mr.
is
Macho? The head
It's a
honcho.
white man
But you got
rapping
this
podcast.
honcho.
Yeah.
I
White
got
man
so
rap.
much styles. I should be
Wait,
down
why
with
are
the
you
style
going
of
so much
Biggie. Wake
slower
up to
than he
break
was?
up.
Are you doing the same
He's
song?
doing Biggie.
Yeah,
I'm doing
but
Biggie.
I
This
did it
is-
really
this is
fast because I was
post-mortem.
embarrassed. and I was-
Why? Oh, you
Just
went
show
so
off.
fast. That's not how
Then
fast he
Your
goes.
mom
No,
hit the
I was
skins
faster.
to amnesia. I can't. She don't remember
Shit.
Just the two
Two
hits.
hits. Her
hitting the floor and me hitting the sucking on you. Had the
Wait, you don't curse?
and your mom.
This is
He's a
when
good Christian
I guess I
boy.
was
I
a
didn't
combination
realize-
of House
Catholic
of
boy.
Pain and
You're-
Bobby
you're
Brown. I
cursed?
was humping around and jumping around.
is this real?
When he's alone in his
used to-
car, though, those words
Chris
are
is
coming
used
out.
to doing morning radio, so
Yeah,
he's straight
right.
himself,
So
and he
you're-
doesn't need to be crass if he
censoring
doesn't want to
yourself.
be. Yeah,
This
like
this song was Biggie was dead and they found like tracks.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
exactly
did.
what it
Yeah,
is.
okay, I remember this now.
I don't know this song, but I'm glad I got to hear it at different RPMs.
Yeah.
And I did the first part. He did the second, and we did them out of order.
Yeah, we Quentin
go.
Tarantino.
I gotta
did.
say that at my birthday party,
Memento.
at my birthday party when we did karaoke to "Forgot About Dre,"
Yeah,
it was the most
Never
memorable
gets old.
performance of the evening.
Yeah, it was good.
People really liked it, and we honestly the night before. We had done karaoke the first night of my birthday weekend, and then we also did the second night because we couldn't get the rooms booked, the right room on the right night. So I
You
was
did
like, well,
karaoke back to back nights.
2 nights in a row. Like it's
Whoa.
all I just want to fucking sing. Like
Yeah.
again, I'm like Martin Short. He has Christmas parties so he can just sing. Someone was he does these big
remember that part
performances
of the
every
book
year.
now. Yeah.
And people go, you just do these so you can perform and sing. And he's like, yeah. And
Yeah.
then so I really that's what I want to do on my birthday. But Chris after the first night, Chris wasn't there. He had a wedding to attend. You're married now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, big
I
announcement.
really love her. That's
how bad you
I've
didn't
never
want
been
to-
in love before, and it's
What does it
beautiful.
feel like?
It's really you should try it, Glaze.
Oh my God, someday. I thought I felt it. That's what people always say. I thought I knew love before, but it was so different now.
Yeah.
And why do they always have to disqualify?
The old one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really because they've got the new one going, and they have to make sure she's happy.
and it's different. It's a new, and you want to believe that it's true.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is a different and new love, but it does there's something about it's like a better one.
Yeah. You have to discount the other one.
But you can't say that about a widow. Like you can't. That's what I've learned. You could have upgraded if your wife dies, but you
Where did you
can't
learn that?
I don't know. I was
So
thinking
wait,
about
if
it
Chris
yesterday.
dies, you can't say
Okay,
that.
Chris and I met someone recently who we were talking about his wife, and we learned in talking about his wife, his current wife, that he met her and she knew his widow
Who died?
who died.
How did she die?
Like OD.
Fent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
so sad. And now he's with this woman. He's so happy. And I'm like, what if this was an upgrade? And he can't ever say anything disparaging, even
Yeah.
though it's just it's circumstantial that he happens to also wanting to be out of it and she dies.
Yeah. And
Because also you probably are trying to get out of a relationship with someone who's actively using fentanyl.
Yeah, maybe he encouraged it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
What
you
if
should
he
do
was
more.
like-
I think this is working.
You seem
What
to
if
be
he
in a lot
liked
of
that
pain.
relationship more because she was more fun? Maybe.
On fentanyl, no one's fun. I think you're just passed out in
No,
the gutter.
no, I don't know.
No, actually, no. You're in your living room, thinking you're doing coke. I think that's how it happens. We'll be right back
God.
with more shows.
oh my God.
Surrounded by your riches. Welcome back to the Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hey, should you tell them about Andy Reid?
Oh yeah. So I did the
Or
ESPYs.
ESPYs.
I did the ESPYs. It was really about Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Like that will be the memory. But I presented
and
in ESPYs.
And Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Lindsey Vaughn.
We're gonna hit them all.
What? It's really fun.
I like how you're doing a Pardon the Interruption or whatever that show is, where you're like putting the categories, and we're gonna get to them. Like
Yeah.
you're setting the
The
stage.
red carpet.
Yeah.
You better remember all these.
Yeah.
Okay,
Toss up.
Okay, so I presented at the ESPYs. Best
Who
male
had more
athlete.
fun saying hi to
Unbelievable.
Nikki Glaser? Andy
Best-
Reid or Lindsey Vaughn?
Best male athlete.
Yeah.
Which I
that's
thought I
awesome.
was gonna just like I was gonna do like best kiss or whatever. Like
Yeah.
they were gonna give me some like
That's not-
MTV
That's
level.
one of the
I
best
don't
categories. That's mad respect.
Best like pat on the ass. That
Yeah.
would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
that
we
would
should do
get
that.
viewers. that kind
I
of like
think I would
MTV
like more
vibe.
categories in the ESPYs. I think
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
watching. I don't
It's a
think
lot
I've
of
ever.
packages.
I think I've ever watched
Sad
it from start to
stories.
finish, and I didn't realize how strange the event is overall.
It's like a humanitarian award.
Yes, I
event.
didn't realize that. But to mix
I didn't realize
up,
that either.
It's like every other segment's a humanitarian award where you're just sobbing uncontrollably. And
Honestly, I cried
Incredibly.
twice in the audience, and I wasn't even there for the full show. We got there late because I did Kimmel before, and I
Yeah.
cried twice before they even pulled me early to go backstage. So I missed a lot of the show, and I cried twice just sitting there for. How long
Yeah.
were you sitting there for? 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
And I looked at him 2 times, welling, like my makeup about to run. Like I have to go present, and I'm like, this is not the event for me to like do like
Roast
my
jokes.
roast
Yeah.
jokes.
I
and,
was
like,
I was concerned.
I was
sitting.
too.
I was sitting there like.
but I was
uh-oh.
like, I don't care.
ALS. We're following ALS.
yeah, I was like,
But I
word.
don't care. I don't care about bombing in the room. Like I literally didn't care because I knew the jokes were funny.
Yeah.
So if I bomb in the room, it does not matter because out of context, even if it's like I'm getting no laughs, I know how to not react to bombing and know that like you guys are wrong. So I knew I kind of had a fail safe of like if this doesn't go like you saw me, I was never worried about what it would do in the room.
No, you didn't care at all.
I didn't care at all because it doesn't matter.
You didn't.
You see her not
What-
caring.
And these people are
Because
there.
I'll just be there like bringing up things like, this might not work in a room. This room is different than other rooms, and da all these things. And
Fuck
Nikki's
the room.
like, don't care
No,
about the
if
room.
more people are
Perpetual
watching
shrug.
at home, this is going to be seen more times online. Like play to the people that are watching on their phones. Like, but play to the room because you want to do well because it'll give you. If you're killing, you do
From
more,
the
perform
watching it
more
on
confidently.
TV, it seemed like it did great in the.
It killed
Yeah,
in the room.
Yeah,
It
I
was
killed.
amazing,
and
yeah.
it was not the easiest room to be in.
No, you were.
after the.
Everyone was literally crying,
ALS
and then you
package.
step up on stage.
Oh my God! I missed the package about what's the guy's name?
Steve Gleason.
Gleason.
That was right before
Oh
you.
my God,
Yeah.
Steve Gleason. Do you know his story?
Jackie Gleason's
oh,
grandson.
No,
No?
you can't.
Boy, you're gonna
make
regret
jokes.
that
Oh
one now.
God,
I know he had ALS. I
Yeah.
know.
I'm
I'm a
just
big
kidding.
fan. He played for the Saints. He blocked the punt. I
He
love
blocked
the
the
guy.
punt.
He's very inspirational.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know who's like
And I saw his
besties,
speech.
I know
It
a lot
was
of you don't
amazing.
know football because I didn't know football, and I would not know who Stephen Gleason was. In fact, that was the name of someone I went to high school with, and that's how I knew him, and that's still like the name that comes to mind or the face that comes to mind. But this guy is amazing, and there's a documentary on YouTube about that. I haven't watched the full thing. You watched the full thing, but we just watched like a segment.
Yeah, an update.
Oh my God, about him and his son. Please go
His
watch
son
that.
is
Father's Day
incredible.
with Steve Gleason.
I mean, I only know him from on stage, but his last night, his son was just amazing to watch.
I didn't get to see it. I was
an
backstage.
incredible beacon of support, a pillar.
A pillar.
Yeah.
And then we watched this video. It's like an update of where things were since the documentary. And this kid's an athlete. He
seems like
You
it.
see him throw a ball, and you're like,
Yeah,
this guy.
Oh, yeah.
You were like a recruiter, like salvation. Like this
I
boy's
was.
got an
I
arm.
was like, let's get this
All
guy.
right, let's keep
Get this
pulling
guy.
up
Get
his
this kid
highlight
with
reel.
Shane Gillis
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah, you were like is salivating. Like, oh man, like because Chris always calls out people in movies or like scripted
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Where they throw a ball, they have to be an athlete for a second, and they
Kenny
just
Powers.
are clearly not.
Danny
Have you seen-
McBride when he throws the pitch in
Oh.
Eastbound
Do you
and
notice that
Down.
one?
Oh yeah. Well, have
Yeah.
you seen Joaquin Phoenix? There's one that's emerged recently where he's like hammering like a board to keep the aliens out, and he's like
He doesn't know how to
That
hold
must be
it.
hammering the
signs.
board, and it's just like it was in signs, and he just couldn't.
What is that? Like a floppy hammer hand? Like he was just like with too much wrist? What?
Well, he was just missing. He
was
just like
hammering like
missed
a
the
girl?
nail, and it was like he was like halfway down the hammer.
Dude
and
doesn't know how to hammer.
this is literally, people are like, man, this watch.
Oh,
this
really?
guy
That's
hammer."
people called it
easiest
out?
tool.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know what?
It is the easiest tool.
How do you not
It's-
practice that?
Oh my God.
I mean,
What's
he's
so
such
funny
a character study guy.
Is getting high and watching Braveheart and watching the people in the background fight.
Oh
And
god.
they're so bad. And
Those
just-
like
they're
ancient
just like
Celtic weapons.
like
They're either
not-
bad
like-
or they're. I read about I just
they
was
get
going down.
treated?
They're tired.
Yeah.
I just read a subreddit that was talking about Andy Samberg, I guess, talked about working at SNL and how it was like destroyed him and how he had to quit essentially because just for his own mental health because he hadn't slept in 7 years. He said, he was like he just he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And people were in the subreddit were talking about the industry and sharing stories. And someone said like TV is horrible, but film is fucking brutal hours. And like people just. It's like sleepless, and so those guys are probably great stuntmen.
Like the
and
first few
it was probably
takes.
the 100th
Yeah.
take at 5 a.m. after doing it since.
I
7.
also feel like there was a period of time where that type of choreography didn't matter. Like I even watched Gangs in New
Really?
York, which also had a bunch of fight scenes, and I'm like, these fight sequences like fucking
Really?
suck.
Yeah.
So
They're
they've
terrible.
so fight sequences have improved vastly.
I think dramatically since 2012.
What was CGI?
I don't know what it is. I think choreography just like you wouldn't see something like that in John Wick or in like even like a modern Star Wars movie. I feel like everybody is now interested in seeing good fight sequences.
Okay, who does the best
Totally
ones?
agree.
Um,
John Wicks are.
But a lot of those
Unbelievable.
don't have like 2,000 people fight. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like, Gangs in
remember
New
any
York
fight
has, like,
sequences.
If
it was
you watch a James Bond fight sequence from even 20 years ago,
Yeah.
you're like, ugh. But like 50 years ago, it's
Oh, God.
insane.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that
just
was
watch-
like when they would throw a shoe and go like, whoa, like Austin Powers.
or any war movie that's black and white from the 50s, or like just watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader
Oh, God,
lightsaber battle,
it's
like a
insane.
famous
Oh, really?
battle.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
just-
it's like they're not even going fast.
Oh
yeah, they're
my
just
God.
like
Yeah,
steps to
yeah,
the left.
everything's in yeah.
And then you fast forward to today, and you've got like a Salat style Iwo Uwas choreographed masterpiece.
Everything is just so like comedy has also advanced that much. My dad was
Yes.
like adamant on showing me for years like this old timey, I forget his name now. I'm so sorry, Dad, that I'm forgetting if you ever see this clip or this even gets clipped, but it probably won't.
This
But-
probably not going to get clipped.
No, now it has to get clipped. Now
No,
I'm
it's
like,
not
I am.
clipping.
It's no.
No
It's this is
clip.
gonna be clippable.
60 seconds if you apologize.
okay, so
to
no,
your
because I
dad.
think it'll be good. I think it could be
And us
intercut with
talking
what it
about
is.
clips.
My dad was like, "You got to see this guy. It's one of the funniest things you'll ever witness." And he made me and Emil Joachim watch this for the first time. I was like, I finally gave in. Jonathan Winters, not Jonathan Winters. It was like 1920 something. So it was like almost stop motion.
Charlie
First, yeah, like later than that, maybe 30. Something. But anyway, and there's a thing where this guy is just sleeping in a hammock on a porch swing, and the hilarious thing that would leave people rolling in the aisles is that like a coconut falls off a off like a countertop and then kind of rolls through the kitchen and then rolls downstairs, and a guy in a hammock gets startled and woken up.
Oh, it doesn't even hit him? It doesn't even hit him?
Howling. And it's just making noise, and it keeps going, and he keeps going, what's going on? And then it hits something else, kind of Rube Goldberg's, but he just keeps getting woken up. And that was the funniest thing
That's
that
the
any of these
pinnacle.
people had ever seen. And my dad remembers like his grandma like hysterically laughing, and it does not. And Emil and I now, when something is not blatantly unfunny, we call it coconuts, because it was just. But my dad was like, you could tell my dad was like ashamed that he even showed it, because it was so not
Right.
what he expected it in his mind from what he remembered. Do you I revisit comedy stuff where I'm like, oh, this isn't as strong as I thought it was back then, because it's just the bar has been raised now.
Yeah, I mean, there was occasional, like even if you watch like Lenny Bruce clips or something like that, you're like, this isn't very funny at all.
Well,
How is he the godfather? But he created the art form. But
Yeah.
occasionally there is a clip where I'm like, I think this is just as funny now as it was.
Yeah.
Like I watched, there's this one sketch from, I think it's like Sid Caesar or something, where it's these, what do they call the Chuck E. Cheese? The animatronic monkeys, and they're doing some band thing, and one of the monkeys has these two drumsticks, and he turns very slowly and he hits the other monkey on the head, and then the other monkey's like makes a face, and for some reason this sketch kills me every time, and it's from like the 70s. So that still works for me.
But how many
Oh, yeah.
things in the 70s are you watching?
Just that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how did you even come across that clip?
Because I read all the memoirs of comedians that are.
Oh, that's right.
And I was reading his
How
memoir.
have you not read Martin Short's?
I guess I haven't. When did that come out?
Oh, it's like 2014.
Okay, well.
So he's like
I
in the
gotta
book. He's
get
like,
that.
I'm on a new sitcom called Mulaney. And I'm very
my
excited about it. It's so cute. I
Wow.
forgot he was on that.
I gotta put it on my bookshelf. There's like there's a big queue right now.
Okay, who
feel like
have
we
you
all
read
read
recently?
Steve Martin.
We all read
Yeah.
that
I gotta
one
go back
year.
to it.
We all read
Yeah.
that one year. Everybody read it the same year.
Yeah, that must have been a juggernaut for like, but like in terms of book sales, a payout. Maybe he probably just got paid, but they made a lot on it.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
great.
his
It's a
deal
great book.
It was but I bet he didn't have a deal in the back end. So I'm just saying it probably did.
We're doing inside baseball here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how he got screwed.
What do you get on the back
Steve
end?
Martin?
How many
Yeah,
points
like
do you
that
get
was
on
like a
that?
crazy popular book. Like everyone read it. Like our dads all read it, and we were reading it. And like it was everywhere.
I also feel like anyone that read it tend to have gotten into stand-up. Like it was definitely, for me, it was like one of the first things I read, and then it pushed me to try to do
really?
stand-up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know it was. Yeah, because you got started a little bit later.
Yeah, in 2011.
What about it? Like he got out of stand up, but it pushed you into it.
Yeah, well, I knew there was room.
Now
You
that
didn't
there's
finish
room,
it.
Yeah.
You-
I was
there's
like,
an open slot now.
So I went and bought a broken arrow and a rubber nose, and I was like, I
You
can do
kind of
this.
did.
I did.
You
I
did.
really did.
You
I
hired a guy.
I had a Wookiee play slide guitar while I did one-liners in my grandpa's clothes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I too can be Steve Martin.
Yeah, it was something.
It was something.
You got to try. You got to throw it out there. And then it led you to what you do now. Like the first thing I was doing on stage was like nothing like I am now. I was doing one-liners too.
Yeah.
Like, just trying on all these different hats.
Oh God.
I probably even wore.
miserable.
There was a time where I was literally wearing a hat. Like I would wear a fedora.
Yeah.
I had a wear some of my faces where I like
We gotta
would wear. It
find
was like my
those pictures.
stage hat.
We
Well,
gotta
your
get
influence was Sarah Silverman, right? You're trying to
I don't
be.
think she wore hats. Ever.
No,
She
but I
always
think
looked cool.
wearing the fedora was like you being cool
Dude, I had
and,
a fedora,
and having a. You had a.
Oh my God.
I wore my grandpa.
I wore a blazer on stage.
There we go.
I wore a blazer and a T-shirt.
Nikki
But
Glaser.
someday
Yeah.
we'll laugh about what we're doing now. Do you think, or were we too try hard back
It
then?
would
We're
be
not
too
like that
sad to
anymore.
laugh at what I'm doing now. If I'm laughing at what I'm doing now, then that's really sad. To laugh at what I did in my 20s when I was just starting is fine, but
In comedy or just in life?
in comedy, in life is fine. You can go back and look at your haircut or whatever.
Yeah.
But if like in your career, you're like, and then when I was 20 years in, it was still pathetic. That's
Yeah.
I think that's
No, I don't think I've ever been pathetic.
I was wearing dinosaur hats.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, maybe
No,
the dinosaur
it's-
hat's gonna be the thing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I can't really trace like what I was trying. I was just doing what I felt was the right thing to do in the moment. So it never felt like I was trying like, oh, I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah.
It just kind of morphs into like
In a way, I
the
felt
process
like
is just so interesting.
when
and
I did that,
it's fun
like
to
up
dissect.
top and had the
Saying.
Wookiee, I didn't.
Sarcastically. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had to get that in.
Was that in my
Oh
brain?
yeah,
I
what
thought it
was
in my-
that? What were you doing?
No, but
really
I'm
early
just
on?
like-
you had a guitar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, he had a guitar.
Okay, he had a
played
guitar.
slide guitar in a Wookiee
Yeah, Brian,
costume.
the Wookiee had the guitar.
The
Yeah.
Wookiee had the
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, Wookiee
I get it.
Goldberg.
But he cut out the fingers so he could
But
play.
he cut out the fingers. But I feel like that was there was nothing else like telling me what I think is funny or what I should do. Even more back then, where I was kind of just going off my own instincts. Than living in New York and everyone's like, this is the
No,
kind
yeah,
of comedy you have to
doing the
do.
Wookiee guitar to me is less embarrassing than wearing a blazer or even a fedora.
No, absolutely.
Because at least you're just like, this is what I think
Well, I
is
had a
funny.
fedora.
Yeah.
Whereas we're like, what do we think other people want us to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that's so weird you say that because I did Conan's podcast today, and as I was leaving and waiting for my Uber, I was running into all of the people that work in the building. It has cool office, like all these young people that are just like, working in the social media department. And I ran into them on the street. And but the girl, and I was like talking to all of them. One guy has been to Taylor Swift 3 times, and he went to the debut. So I got to like the first run of Eras. So I got to like, what was it like being there when no one knew what was going to happen? Like I had all these questions. It was so fun. But then the girl that was like my point person there, she told me on the way out, she was like, I do stand up and I've been doing it for 2 years, but you're like such an inspiration. And I was like, do you want some advice? Like, I know you didn't ask for it, but like, can I'm trying to, no, I was putting on my shirt and I was like, I'm trying to think of what I wish someone would have told me when I was like 2 years in. And I was like, I said, don't try to do what you think people want.
Yeah.
Do what makes you laugh. And
Yeah.
I still have to follow that advice. I think so often I'm trying to give people what they want, and like it's hard not to. I think we're just like trained to, but But the more you can not do that, I think the more successful you can be.
Well, whenever you're trying to give people what they want, not only you're being inauthentic, which is anathema to stand-up, but you're also backwards looking. And the key to being funny is to be forwards looking and be new and different.
I haven't heard this.
This is brand new.
Okay,
fresh
I
off
like
the
this
press,
theory. Like, bring it
Frangie
out.
original.
Did somebody write this down?
Yeah, when you're trying to do something that you expect, that means you saw something that worked and you're copying it.
Okay.
Which is why AI is
looking
going to fail.
backwards.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's looking
that brings us
backwards.
back around.
Yeah.
Always comes
but I
back
wanted
to
to say this
Yeah.
is also a Frangie theory. I think that Steve Martin style comedy is making a comeback right now.
Okay.
In the same way that it did in the 70s when people went crazy for Steve Martin because he was a counterculture to the more serious comedy that was happening. And he's just the guy who's like doing balloon animals and being wacky.
Yeah.
And I think now no offense, but comedians are getting a little too cool. We're all too cool now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think comedians are too cool. They're becoming stars. They're becoming superstars in arenas.
Oh, we're getting bought out.
Yeah, and like we're hanging out with
Selling our
MMA
souls.
fighters and all sorts of cool people.
Yeah, they're like they're dorks.
And if you look at
they're getting cool.
Gen Z humor, like if you look at stuff that Gen Z kids are laughing at on YouTube and stuff, it is complete random nonsense. The more random, the better. And
you have to be random.
you have to be random. That was so
Oh,
funny.
that was so
Thanks,
good.
man.
Holy.
And what's making
Jack in the Box.
what's making a huge there we go.
This
Clip
is
this.
clip it, clippable.
Dinosaur.
What's no, I know what you're talking about. Some you know who is doing innovative stuff is those guys from like Almost Friday, Finally Friday.
Oh yeah, they're very good.
Beer with the Fridays. Friday beers.
Oh, Friday beers?
Yeah.
Is that it? Did I land on it?
Yes.
Is that it?
It's
Yes, I've
almost
heard of
Friday.
Friday beers.
Friday beers. Yeah.
No, what is it?
It's literally almost Friday TV.
But Friday beers is
That's
also
like
the
a-
show.
Yeah, it's like a.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, their branding got in my brain, but I should know their names. They're so funny. These two guys that will just pitch each other scenarios.
Yeah.
And then play them out and improv. It's so they're
Have you
like.
seen their sketches?
I mean, everything they show me is probably what's funny. They may be bomb, but I've never seen one that is not hilarious. Their sketches, yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen. There's
Yeah, they're-
everything they do is funny.
They'll
And
get
I
a
wish I knew that.
movie
What's
and
their
shit.
names?
Liam and I.
Will you look it up, Olivia?
Yeah, and Angus. Or
Yeah, and Angus.
Angus, maybe.
And they have a cast of
Their names
other
sound
guys.
fake. Liam and Angus.
Yeah, all their shit is so funny. And then Chris is right now into watching this mini golf competition.
Oh yeah, it's called Twin.
Let's see your beautiful face. Oh, no. I just want to pull it down. Talk into it.
Twin Tour Golf. Have you guys?
No.
So it's just like these.
It's on YouTube?
Yeah, I guess they're like in their 20s, something early 20s, and they're just recording themselves playing mini golf, and they're sort of like doing commentary like it's a real tournament. And I can't stop watching.
That's great. How long is each video?
Each video is 60 seconds.
How many people
Oh,
watch
that's
it?
it. Oh, I would expect it to be longer, like 30 minutes.
but that's each hole usually. So and then they post it like fairly quickly, but sometimes they'll post like holes 1 through 6, and I'm like, I need the rest. Like, give me the rest. How does this end? Is Bella gonna
Wow.
win? There's no way. Wolf is coming back. He
Yeah.
stinks. But no, Wolf is actually pretty
Is
good.
there any stuff online with the content that you guys are like hooked to and crave? Like Liam Cullah. L-A-G-H. And Will Angus. Those you need to follow them. But I actually subscribe. I pay 99 cents. I like subscribe to an ASMR girl who like eats massive amounts of food. And it really like soothes me when I'm like wanting, like sometimes I'm like wanting to I'm like tired and I'm so hungry and I like want to binge eat kind of. And sometimes if I put it on, like they do it for me.
Yeah.
And I
that
can
makes
fall
sense.
asleep,
Yeah.
like to like, oh my god, that would taste so good. And I'm not like starving. Like I want to be clear. Like a lot of people in the comments are like, who else is fasting right now? And it's like it's not that. I'm like want to eat my feelings, and so I put on someone doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like when I want to get a massage. Like I watch massage videos when my like bunions really hurt, and I'm like I'm feeling it, and so like I follow this. So I go through phases of like wanting to watch it.
Video Ozempic.
It really is. Like, it honestly helps if you, like, I would recommend it to someone who, like, because it's soothing, too, because they, like, talk to you. But if you're a misophonic, you're fucked because it's, like, you're listening to someone chew. And if you have
yeah, I
misophonia,
can't.
like,
Yeah.
chewing makes you murderous.
What is this?
If you have misophonia, it's, like, a thing where that someone eating makes you so angry, you get violent. And famously, I think
My dad.
I
eating
know someone who,
lobster.
like
Yeah.
had it and... a well-known person had it, and in a writer's room, like attacked someone physically. And this person
Jesus.
is not prone to violence, but someone was chewing, and this person attacked someone else.
I mean, how many
Yeah, I'll tell you off
situations
air.
will you be in where you're going to hear someone chewing? You got to be able to at least
just
do
sitting next to them, and they probably were not wanting to say it
Yeah,
to
and they're
be
in a
rude, and then
professional
it just
setting.
built up so much that they can't. Well, they're the boss also, so it was like kind of.
Okay.
And then they like it was probably like it
It was
wasn't
the
about
boss
the chewing. No.
Oh.
It was the boss yelled at someone.
Oh,
for
God,
chewing.
okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and like attacked them. I think like got physical.
Wow.
But
Wow.
but I've heard that like that's what happens with people with misophonia. Like they can't help it. It turns them
Yeah.
into the Hulk.
Jesus, I mean, God, I feel like you got to be able to help it. There's got to be things you can do to control yourself.
What do they do? That
Yes,
for
sure.
them-
I'm sure there's like breathing exercises that they can probably because I think they
Just attack
suffer with
people
it.
for chewing.
Yeah.
Well,
just-
yeah, but people have
Sorry.
like road rage and
I've got
stuff, and they
yeah.
you
What
have
about
to
their
anger
own mouth?
management.
Control
They hate
it.
their own mouth. Will they have to have soup or smoothies? I don't know.
They're okay
No,
with
no, no.
feeding
Yeah.
tube?
Oh, that's
Or
what they have to
feeding
do,
tube,
like
yeah.
white noise when they're eating.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Oh, there's
that's
sometimes
that's a
Jason
nightmare.
Mraz?
Was it Mraz? Yeah.
I can almost guarantee every time the word white noise comes up, you will come up with some like say another one.
Creed?
yeah.
Nickelback.
Matchbox 20.
Yes.
That is that. Rob Thomas
Smash
would like
Mouth?
that. Smash Mouth.
I've been watching on YouTube. I just met this guy randomly, and he's like, "Yeah, I work for this company. And it was called Donut Media, and it was a car. It's a car YouTube, and they just break down engines and take them apart. They have like 9 million subscribers, and then he started his own channel and got
Do you do this when you want to break down an engine, but you just
That's
don't
what I'm
want
saying.
to
I
work
don't.
your
That's
feelings
why
out on that?
I don't. I'm not a man.
So he does it for you?
I've never.
But you would like to.
I would love to learn something. I'm 44. I don't know.
Do you watch it
anything.
intensely? Are
I
you
know how
like
to throw a
focused, being like, "What's he doing?" Or are you
This
like
guy could throw a
relaxed to it?
football. I'll tell you that. You've learned how to do
Oh
that.
yeah, talk about noticing someone's arm. Chris,
This guy went 34 for 36.
on passing.
It was the most unbelievable display of
And set the
quarterbackism I've
table.
ever seen. So every year the Convey family plays the Stephen family in football.
The Steven family. Everyone knows. The classic Steven family.
Yeah, you know the Stephen
Yeah, I've
family.
set this up. We've been talking about them for episodes. We've led to this big moment. So the Stevens are your cousins.
You still haven't even finished the Andy Reid story. You've given me
you
trouble
got-
about the Stephen family.
Pardon my interruption, where they never get to anything.
Oh my God, that is
That's actually
exactly
a
what
really-
we're doing today.
That's a good sketch.
Part of the interruption is the
Friday
best
beers.
show on
Yeah.
the planet.
No, but you like the other one with the
Here we
the
go.
two guys.
Pardon
That's
the
your
interruption.
favorite. Is that it with the
Yeah.
two guys?
Yeah.
That you
That's-
love?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tony Kornheiser and
And
Michael
Michael
Wilbon.
Oh, really?
The
I
other
didn't
one's
know that
Around the
was part-
Horn with the guy who looks like the guy
What
from
did you
Veep.
think?
I thought those were two different
yeah.
shows. I never knew the.
You thought PTI and Part of the Interruption were two shows?
No, I knew PTI was part of the interruption, but I didn't know the show with the black guy and the white guy, the old guy, the old man.
That's how I
PTI,
describe them too.
Yeah, that is PTI.
And they're young at heart.
I knew they were two things, but I had never connected them. I don't know why. Is the thing always on the screen? To the shows. I know there are two shows. One with those guys and then one called Part of the Interruption, but I didn't know they were the same show.
Yeah, that's one
Yes,
thing.
that's one
Yeah,
show.
now
Yeah.
it's all making sense to me, but it's actually not because I truly
What would you
thought-
call it?
I don't know, Locker Talk or something. Like, I don't know.
That's actually not bad.
That's Donald Trump and
Yeah,
Billy Bush.
that's a good point.
It's the best show on television, period.
Yeah, you love it so
Yeah,
much.
it's the best show. You must love
What do
it,
you love
right?
about it?
I do love it, but I don't watch it religiously. And
I
it's
like-
one of those shows that are so HD, if you don't watch it for years, you see them age, and it's kind of
Yeah.
actually like questions my own age. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's weird.
Too confronting.
Yeah. Oh my God, interesting.
Yeah, I like it because I love it when two people from different races get along.
Man.
That's why I loved Obama and Biden. You know?
Yeah, it was beautiful harmony.
Oh, last
beautiful.
night on Kimmel, hosted by Kumail, I
Yeah.
said my song is called "Someday You'll Die." It's
Yeah.
about Joe Biden, and it didn't do what I wanted it to do, but it did all right.
No, I got a laugh. I
did?
thought I got a good
Okay,
laugh.
thank God. We'll be right back after this. We're back. Okay, so the ESPYs were last night. I am presenting, and I'm back. I get pulled backstage before my, actually very early because I was like, I want to go through the prompter. And prior to this, I had figured out a great set with the help of all of you. It was awesome to kind of collaborate again and come up with kind of a roasty type set, really last minute too.
Yeah.
because I got the script sent to me of what I was going to do, and then I could kind of work from that because I didn't know the concept of what the show was going to be at all. And but I got it, and then I was overseas, and I thought it was the script embedded in like a thanks for this information, Nikki. And I just thought, when you see an email that's just saying thanks, you're just like, I don't need to read this.
Yeah.
It's just thanking me for what I just said. Like, there's no new information, and the script was on that. And
when was that?
I had 21 extra hours with the script that I wasted because I didn't know it existed. And then I'm just on the flight, and I'm like, why is but I'm flying back from Zurich, so I needed to sleep anyway. So who knows what I would have done with it? But it was under the gun to like make a funny moment and to try to feel out like, what is this thing? You were asking a lot of good questions, like, what do you want to achieve with this? And that did bring me to like, I don't care about the room.
Yes.
I just wanted to be funny online. And like, I'm like, I think I want to look sharp and likable. I don't know. Like, that's an interesting question. I like when you do that, when you're like, let's cut to the chase of like, we're trying to figure out today for Conan what I say when I say like, I'm Nikki Glaser and I'm blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend. Like, what would be the funniest thing to say? And we're working on that this morning, and it was fun. It was a fun process, but it's really like there's a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, but have you guys listened to Conan's podcast?
Yeah.
That beginning thing. It's like there was a lot of pressure
because
on it,
you don't know if you want to be sincere. Like I've done it twice before. I would be sincere, or like you want to do a little like joke. So I tried to be sincere and a joke, and I think I did pull it off. But then you can't go from that. It's not like a couch interview with Conan where I'm like, I'm prepared with material and I know where he's going to laugh and I know where he's going to play. It's like, I can't predict where it's going to exactly go. But it did all right. But I like that process of like putting something together and figuring it out. And I felt really confident going to the ESPYs with what we had put together. All the writers, when we submitted it, were like, this is amazing. Everyone was like excited to see it that like had seen the script. So I was like, oh, this is going to kill. I'm sure of it. Like, didn't you feel it was foolproof?
Yeah, no, I don't know about when I started watching the event, I was nervous.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because which made it more exciting for me because I'm like, now I have something to live for. I mean, if it was just going to be easy all the way, but then I'm watching the event and I'm like, I've seen the opening monologues every time, and they're generally roast heavy. And so I was like, great, that's what this event's all about.
Yeah.
Then I realized shortly after, I've never seen the full ESPYs. I didn't realize it was humanitarian award one after the other. Where
or at least this one
Prince Harry is going to come up and deliver a riling speech about war veterans.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Thank God Serena came up
and did a comedy bit before me.
Genius
on the thank you producers.
Producers, yes.
Yeah, because I was backstage when that ALS Steve Gleason package was going on. I didn't know I didn't watch it because
sobbing and in fear.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad I didn't see it because I would have been in a different state of mind because I researched it later that night and was like sobbing. Like I was like weeping wildly in bed later, but I'm backstage and I can see it's happening. Like I see this guy in a wheelchair. I don't know who it is at this time.
Oh, good.
And I'm just like, oh my God. Well, that is how he looked. Like, I don't know how else to do it, but he's like locked in and he's so cute and I love him so much. Clip it.
No, don't clip it.
No, I'm not saying anything offensive. He knows what he looks like.
I don't find it offensive.
If I
thought
had
it was
ALS,
a great act out.
I'm not saying it's bad what he looks like, and I wasn't trying to be funny at all.
I didn't laugh.
It wasn't funny.
I'm just saying it was.
I really wasn't. So anyway, I see it when I'm in the makeup chair, and I'm like. And the makeup lady right before I ever write is watching it, so she is crying.
Yeah.
And she's touching me up, and I'm like, and she's like, it's just so tragic and so sad. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just kind of like thinking about my set. I literally don't even know what's going on, but I do see what's going on. Like I see it, but I can't hear it. I'm not. It's like the sound isn't backstage, or whatever. And then the producer comes over and she's just like, it's just so sad. I go, I have to follow this. I'm like, I'm so cold. And then I catch myself because she's like, oh, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen this yet. Like I'm not invested in it yet. Like I had to be like, I'm not being callous. Like this is death for me. This is that's my.
Oh my God, Nikki.
Death in terms of comedy. Shut up. What?
No, it's funny. It's
it's death for everybody. That's
Listen, no, I was saying like
no, it's like
when
you had ALS.
When you do bad in comedy, you die. That's what I was insinuating. I was not trying. It was not a pun intended. If you sensed a pun in there,
we know
sometimes
it wasn't, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah.
We know that was not intended.
Look, this was like
that was intended when I said walk into it. Okay, you didn't catch it.
This guy is so cool. He would like. He would like
And I
me.
know that. First of all, I did any joke that has been made. I literally did not mean to make until I said that I walked into it. Joke, like literally. That's the thing. It's like I want to be able to talk about. I have a joke about a guy in a wheelchair that I point at and my friend goes, I go, he's the guy in the wheelchair, and my friend goes, you can't say that. And I'm like, but he knows, like, and that is how I honestly feel. Like it's not like if people go, oh my God, you doing an act out of how he looks. Donald Trump doing an act out. He did that to be mean.
Yeah.
If I'm just giving an example of what I was seeing on the screen, that is his reality. That is not offensive.
Agreed.
Okay.
I wasn't disagreeing.
Let's go to break. Oh, we don't need to.
That kind of thing like happened to me. I'm not trying to make it about me, but
Please.
No, when I got mugged recently
Yes.
at gunpoint.
Oh yeah,
And,
tell us about that.
Well, we're in Venice, and I'm not trying to. I really is relating to what you're saying. I'm not.
I don't
just
even know
saying-
what you're blocking from.
Oh, I don't even know what.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
then
You're
I was
ahead.
like-
You're a couple steps ahead, but I can't wait to get there.
So whatever. We're in Venice. Me and my fiance are walking, and we're a block away from Abbot Kinney, which is the main road.
Man.
So you're right by the beach. You think you're like listening to Jimmy Buffett. You don't think you're gonna get a gun in your face. You know, everything's like chill, relax.
Nah,
And
not Venice Beach.
Car rolls up, reverses. It was kind of
Fuck.
funny though because I was telling Brenna how I have to piss, and she's like tapping my penis, and I was like, "I'm gonna piss in your hand. I'll piss in your hand right here."
Yeah.
That was gonna be my last words to her. I'm gonna piss in your hand.
Your last moment.
My last moment.
That's kind of beautiful.
It is kind of
because it's like a
nice.
sweet moment between a couple that's very intimate and weird.
That is true. You couldn't
funny.
write that. AI couldn't write that.
No, that is true.
So this car rolls back, and Brenna, who never notices anything, goes, "That's weird," and then didn't even look at it, and then it caught my eye, and next thing I know, guy jumps out, ski mask on, gun, like that.
Sideways gun?
Sideways
God.
gun, and
Start rapping.
Yeah, the
He just went into Eminem, and he's like, okay, he's cool.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, he just asked me for directions.
No, oh my God. Okay, so
It was an N95 mask, and he was just he's like, "So is Abbott Kinney? Where's J. Crew?"
that is terrifying. Like,
yeah.
Did you piss yourself?
I stopped,
right?
dropped, and rolled.
You
for
pissed
some-
yourself.
No,
you
I-
had to pee already. She was tapping your penis.
That's a good
Did you
point.
pee?
I never.
Because that happens to people when they get
Since.
So he just wanted your wallet.
blocked.
So I had my watch on. I had a silver watch on, my grandpa's watch. It wasn't even
How
like
much is
that.
that worth?
Maybe like $800. It's like vintage, but it's not like one of one. It's
Yeah.
not
You better
like-
watch it now that you admitted that on this podcast. Wait,
What?
did they take
Yeah.
it?
No.
Oh, so you're still walking around
so
with that
I
on?
grab.
You're gonna get fucking.
I'm not
they're gonna
wearing
come
one.
for you.
I
Yeah.
know. Well.
What? Are you really not wearing it because now you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it'll attract someone
Yeah.
to mug me?
Especially in
Fuck.
fucking LA.
So I grab Brenna's hand and I go, run. And we were like 30 feet. He was still like 30 feet away. I'm just like, run. Go. Get it. We got to go. And she goes, oh, are you fucking with me?
Oh, the boy
Because
who
I'm a
cried
comedian. And I'm like, fucking dude. Like,
But
you
it's
know.
a guy in a ski mask. She thinks not run.
She
Isn't
didn't
she scared
see him.
too?
She
Oh,
never
she didn't
saw
see
him.
him.
She never turned either.
But she
to
said,
see him.
that was weird.
I know, and then didn't look.
But then didn't look. God.
That's
She's
how
like, I'll
she-
let him look and
I'll
figure it
let him
out.
look.
And then now she's in disbelief.
And because I'm
of
a
what you're
comedian, she thinks.
So you
Oh, yeah,
right
maybe
away.
you're
You right
joking. I get
away.
it.
That's pretty impressive. You got to be proud of yourself. You were like, you grabbed her hand and said, "Run."
Yeah, I had fast twitch muscles for sure back. Yeah, I would have made Allstate if I fucking.
Is that a sports thing?
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he did.
I would believe it.
Right, take out your notebook and write that down. Take it back with you to Bama.
So we start. So she's like, "You're kidding. You're messing with me." I was like, "No, just run!" Like it was like literally like out of a fucking movie. And so
Was
we
there
start
anyone else
running.
around?
Huh?
Was there anyone else
No,
around? It was just
it was
you
like
guys?
the end of a cul-de-sac. So it was like
So
a
it's
quiet
houses.
street.
Okay.
But it was $1 million homes.
Yeah, well, that's why they're there.
Yeah, good point. So we're running, and finally she starts running. She finally believes me, and she starts running, and she goes to go around this bush and pull like a whatever, and I keep holding her hand because I want her to run with
Oh,
me.
no.
And she runs, dude, into this pole. Oh my god, I'm like getting emotional. Like think about it. That's so weird.
sorry.
No, usually I tell it like laughing, but
And
Yeah.
now she's not beautiful anymore because she ran
no,
out of the hole?
she's even more beautiful.
The reconstructive surgery.
She has a high cheekbone on one side of her face. No, so she drills this pole like
Oh
twirls
my
and falls on the
God.
ground. And I'm like, oh, now we're shot. Like now we're dead. Like
Oh
I
my
literally in my head,
God.
I was like, this is
how it ends.
This is how I die by her being a klutz.
Oh my God.
So then I go, get up. You got to get up. She's like, I can't get up. Like,
how far behind are they right now when this is happening? When you're like, you got to get up. How far behind?
I would have thought.
And they're running at you?
Probably like 30 feet. So I don't know. I don't turn. You
don't
don't turn
know.
to see if there's a gun behind you. You know what I mean? So I was just running, just hoping we'd get to a street.
So you
or
ran
whatever.
30 feet before you dropped?
Probably 30 feet.
Okay.
She dropped on the ground.
So she dropped. And so when you kept running, what did you say to her?
I was like, I went back. I mean, that would have been, oh, yeah. I was like, yo, right up, you'll be fine.
George Costanza it. Just pushed her out of the way.
Hang out with them for a while.
Yeah.
They're cool, dude. They just want my watch. Yeah, so she's dating the guy.
Create a diversion.
Yeah. They're starting a rap group. So then I go, you got to get up. She's like, I can't get up. I was like, you got to. I grab her fucking sandals and her purse, and we start running, and then I turn, and when I got her up, I saw they were gone. So then, but she didn't see that they were gone. So we're running in the street. She's like bleeding from her knee, and she's like hobbling at this point.
Oh my God.
And she's going, help us, help, like right out of like a movie, like
Screaming top of her lungs.
dude, embarrassing
thing.
a little bit. Like a part, like that's how insecure I am. At part, I was like, okay, we don't have to. Like,
There's some young boys around, like young college guys.
Yeah, there's like 3,000 people that follow me on TikTok. So anyway, so I was like, I didn't die. And then there was a forerunner and two of the broys, this guy Jerry and Asher. Like the broiest bros you've ever seen, like just left a frat house. Like,
how old's
what's up,
Jerry?
man?
Jerry seems like an old man's name.
You would think he was a 23-year-old dude, probably 24.
Okay.
And we just
What was
jumped.
like his body like?
Jacked.
just kidding.
A jacked Asian guy.
Like it doesn't matter. I just keep asking people.
Yeah. No, he's like jacked.
I
like
feel
good
What do you think he
If
looks
he
like
was
shirtless?
Shirtless, really
yeah,
good,
we need that
actually.
for like just to color the story.
Does
like
he
a
have a lot of
gymnast?
hair, or is he hairless?
There were a good amount of vascular, nice
Okay,
veins.
so Jerry and Asher pull up. Like you flag them down. She flags them down.
They stopped, and we just jumped into their. We didn't even ask them.
Oh my God, this is so crazy.
And we jumped into their car. Like I compare it to like, you know when a sea lion jumps from a
Oh my
shark
God,
into
yes!
a boat.
Oh, that's such a
and
good-
it's like help me,
That's
dude.
great.
That's what we were like. And we get in, and they're like, what happened? And we're like, we got mugged, whatever. And they're like, we'll call the cops. They call 911. Cops never come.
No, of course not.
And then the firefighters come. And they take care of Brenna's knee.
Firefighters, like a whole fire truck shows up.
Yeah, a whole fire truck,
Easy.
5 of them.
Yeah. So like,
Oh, yeah, so
what
they're
do they
like-
all look like?
So the first
Body types on
the
the
first
fire?
guy had green eyes and like he was probably like 6'3", 6'4", like strong hands.
Okay,
You could tell
yeah.
like he's like worked his way around
Yeah.
the pussy.
And he
you
loves
know?
his mother.
Yeah.
What's his sign?
His sign is whatever you want it to be.
By the way, you guys getting in their car is a good way to mug them. To pretend that you've
you
just
pay it
been
forward.
mugged.
Well, I also
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, you guys aren't.
that
the-
is good mugging.
I was like, you guys aren't the same guys without a ski mask in a different car.
Yeah.
I was
Oh my
trying to bring
God.
some like, but Brennan was like, huh? Like
You
the guy's
literally
like,
made
"You're
a joke."
safe, huh?
You literally made a
yeah,
joke.
I made that
Yeah,
joke. Yeah.
immediately?
Yeah, right away. I was trying my quickest to make the set. For
No,
future
but-
shows, So,
Yeah, you
yeah.
start-
So anyway, so then they call, fire truck comes, they clean her knee up. We get taken home in the fire truck. I felt like a 9-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Or like a Dalmatian.
Did they let
I'm
you
just
like honk the horn?
Did you put on an oversized fire coat?
They gave me a little.
Was it
One
cool
of the
to ride in the fire
one of the
truck?
firefighters carried her up the stairs and put her in
You can walk
bed.
up the ladder if you want, boy.
Wait, what was it like in the fire? Where do you sit in the fire
The
truck?
coolest thing ever.
Was
they
it
have
really
like
cool?
old computers.
You would want to go to fire
yeah,
truck.
Chris
you know
would get
it,
you
Chris.
mugged to be in a fire truck for sure.
There's like a picture of me with. They let me hold the jaws of life.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
came to a radio event that I was doing.
Oh, nice.
And they're the coolest.
The
Oh,
best.
yeah.
They're like,
dude.
these guys
Jaws
are
of life.
They're the
Yeah,
coolest,
dude.
They're
All
like
right.
baseball players.
Cut through anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
My dad's a firefighter.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah,
what?
volunteer firefighter.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's been one for like 30 years.
Wow. Final thought.
Is there involuntary
He's stolen so many guys' girlfriends who got mugged.
Dude, this guy was cleaning her knee. I was like, don't. Okay, maybe do it a little bit.
yeah,
And then-
maybe.
then
Oh,
the
that
porn
looks deep.
started.
Yeah, maybe.
So the cops never
Stitch it.
come. Then we checked that Citizen app, and 2 hours later, someone on the same street got
The same thing?
same exact thing, and they stole a silver watch.
Wow.
Swear to God.
It was like that was their gang
Whoa.
initiation.
But because
Get
they
a silver
never
watch.
patrolled the area,
Yeah,
the
it was on
guys
their
were able
like
to do it.
scavenger hunt that day from
Yeah.
their gang.
Silver
Every morning you
So
get
the
up.
funniest part, I think, though, the next day we see Jerry and Asher
Whoa.
on Abbott Kinney walking his
Wait,
pit
why are
bull.
you in Venice?
Oh, I was house sitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a whole other long story where apparently this guy tried to break into the house sitter's house 3 times.
Yep.
And got over the
Wait.
fence. And then this person asked
The
us
house
to house
sitters.
sit. Oh, I'm sorry. The owner's house.
Okay.
The person asked us to house sit and never told us that our house is like.
Venice Beach has fallen
Let's
apart
not
ever
move
since
there.
COVID. It's my Allie's friend had an apartment there, and in the span of 4 months, her house was broken into 3 times.
Dude, that's
Oh
insane.
my God.
And then there was used to be quite a lot of homeless encampments in the area,
Yeah.
and then like in the year 2021, they went in and they cleared out all the homeless encampments, and so instead of like solving
them to
any
Silver Lake?
problems, the homeless people just kind of like started roaming around, and a lot of them started breaking into houses. And
I would.
Yeah, I mean,
If I was homeless, on drugs, desperate.
sure.
It, like you can't blame them. I know it's just like what, like you're like, oh, how could you do, like this is such a scourge,
Yeah.
like, but it's like if I was in that situation, yeah, that's what, like I can't even be mad at them.
I mean,
And they
Aladdin is your favorite movie.
yeah, one jump ahead of the bread line.
I can show you the world.
But yeah,
But the crime in Venice Beach area has
It's
gotten
so
out of
sad.
control.
I see Jerry and Asher, and we go up, and I go, hey, man, thanks for helping us out. And he's like, who are you? Oh, shit. Yeah,
They
yeah,
forgot?
They are.
What the fuck?
They like
How often does that happen?
Well, they probably didn't think we'd be walking down Abbott Kinney like
Well, how could they
shopping
not even
again the next
remember?
day. Yeah, but then the funniest part was he goes, dude, we thought you were kidnapping her.
Oh my god.
oh yeah, that seems
I was
plausible. I'm sure that happened.
And then I just jumped into their car,
Dude,
with the girl I'm kidnapping. Like, yo, you're bros. You know
That's
what's
probably
up. Like,
more likely.
that I would just
No,
jump-
because that happens so much now that people are just like. I was just reading about
I was
some
also
girl.
dragging her.
The Haktua girl
Haktua,
says.
yeah.
I read her Rolling Stone article about her, and she's like talking about how her biggest fear is being kidnapped because she's really tiny and she's like a hot chick who's really super tiny. She was like, I can get scooped up in seconds
Yeah.
and taken and
Yeah.
sold into like and never see my family again. And I'm paranoid about it constantly. And I'm like, this was not something that when I was young and hot, which I never really was at the same time. I never figured those out to intersect. That could be a bit, but I really never did. And so I never like feared getting kidnapped. But I don't think that was a thing when we were young. But like now it's a thing where I'm like I see it on. I'm working on a bit about it. But like that. I met another young girl who's like, oh my God, I'm just, because I can't
Yeah.
go there because, and I'm like, because of what? And she's like, kidnapping. I'm like, what? I didn't think about I thought about
I
that when I was a
didn't even-
kid,
yeah.
but not when I was like an adult woman.
But it does
But it's a
add up
thing.
when you think about, like, if you paint the scene, she's yelling, help me. I'm dragging
Yeah.
her. She's bleeding.
Yes.
And I'm just
We're still unsure if that is not what's going on here.
Look.
This whole relationship.
She DM'd me first.
Oh, this
It's
is
re-
fun.
that's-
We have to go. Thanks for doing this, you guys,
Oh.
and thanks for all your help with the ESPYs. And yeah, I met Andy Reid.
Oh, and the Stevens family.
And he loves her.
Stevens
Yeah.
And Andrew has here's the things you missed. Andrew has a great arm, which Chris saw at a Thanksgiving Day football game where Andrew participated because they needed extra players. Andrew blew Chris's mind. It was like really of note how good Andrew's arm was. And hand, it's a part of the arm. And then Andy Reid, I met last night. I was backstage, and I didn't know he was there because he ended up getting the award for Patrick Holmes on his behalf.
Yeah.
But I saw him backstage, and I knew someone was accepting on someone's behalf, but I just thought they had Andy Reid later on the show. Like, I didn't know Patrick would be winning, even though I knew he was a nominee. So I met him backstage before it presented because some agent, this girl that I love, pulled me and was like, you have to meet Andy Reid. Like, you're a Chiefs fan, right? And I was like, yeah, of course I am. She's like, well, you got to meet Andy. Come here. And I was like, does he want to meet me? Like, I don't want to bother this man. Like, he seems to be someone who doesn't want to suffer fools. And
He's
I don't.
a fun guy.
Yeah,
a fun guy.
and I actually had something
Give
to
me
say
some
to
of
him
them
because
nuggies.
yeah. I knew what to say to him, which was like, obviously, congratulations on being such a great comedic actor in these ads, because
He's so
I really
good.
was like, I was like, I love you. I was like, you are so funny. You're hilarious. I was like, you are a great comedic actor. And he said, keep up what you're doing. I really like what you're doing. And we had like a moment and he took a selfie and was so nice. I was like, can I get a selfie? I'm sorry. I like never ask for selfies, but it's Andy Reid. He looked great too. He was just like so nice and easy to talk to. And we had like a little moment and then I go present the award and that's who comes out. They like didn't tell me who was going to come out. They're like,
wow.
Because I don't know who's going to win. I find out when I open the envelope too. And then Andy Reid, I was like, oh, yay. I just met you.
And then he was glad. He the first thing he said, he's like, I'm glad Nikki didn't eviscerate.
No. The
he
word
say?
he chose was so perfect.
What was it?
Dismantle me.
Dismantle.
It was so
God,
good.
that's why we love Andy Reid.
Yeah.
That kind of word that like, I mean, us writing, like trying to figure out one word today to put in that Conan thing, like one word can change everything. Dismantle is such a perfect word. You'll have to see when the episode comes out.
Good one.
And you know what
Hey,
else?
Remember
She was wearing a red dress for the Chiefs.
I thought the same thing when he
Dude,
Chiefs
you're
Kingdom.
so right.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Andy Reid
I'm such a
Conspiracy.
Chiefs fan.
Andy
Chiefs
Reid said
Nation.
after he won his first Super Bowl with the Chiefs? They go, what do you want to do after this?
Nikki Glaser.
No. He goes, I think I'm going to go get a cheeseburger.
Yeah, he had. I think I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but he had like 25 burgers.
Good for him. He
No, I'm
deserves
not.
it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's a way
Hey,
to
I'm
celebrate.
just telling the story.
Yeah.
I'm not making
That's
fun of
back-to-back
him.
karaoke nights. No. Oh yeah, no. That's just the truth. I'm just saying.
The truth.
There's nothing
He
wrong
just
with that.
eating the burgers.
Yeah. All right, we gotta go. Thank you so much for listening. Come see me on the road, NikkiGlaser.com. So many new dates added. So many shows. Tickets are selling fast. I've never really had to say that to you guys and be like, you might not get them, but truly, shows are selling out, and it's awesome that you guys are coming out. But get your tickets now, NikkiGlaser.com. You can check it. I don't really know where I'm going to be because there's so many coming up, but like, I need to memorize the next couple. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend with David Spade. But then I am seriously on the road for the rest of my life. So come see me. I would love to see you. And don't be good, and bye.